Everybody, what is going on? The catch. Fam, I hope everyone is having a phenomenal Friday. Hope you guys are looking forward to a phenomenal weekend. And as always, hope you guys are ready for another live 2024 fantasy football mock draft with you guys, of course, with the catch. Fam, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk some fantasy football. Pete's in the house. We've got a full mock already. How's everyone doing? How are you, Pete?
I'm good. 4th of July yesterday, a lot of fun, a lot of eating, beverages, consumptions. So, yeah, a little slower day today, but I'm ready to rock and roll. Let's get it cooking.
Beautiful. I drafted a team last night on Underdog. Players only in red, white, and blue jerseys.
Okay.
And honestly, my team turned out pretty dang good. But I only got one Cowboys player, which of course was Dak Prescott, walking around with an amputated foot.
I saw that. That's big news, I guess.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not super worried at this point in the offseason. We'll see where it stands like August, end of August. It's a sprained foot, I've read.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know. Should we be worried about it? Maybe.
It's just another thing that's going to annoy him all season and bother him, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, I have quite a few like shares of I'll go JJ tonight. I have quite a few shares of Dak Prescott Underdog so far. Good exposure there. And I've been drafting him a lot in our PPR mock drafts because he's just been such a good value. So I'm interested to see if he falls back slightly. But he's kind of going in that range, like between Joe Burrow and Kyler Murray, Jordan Love. I don't think he's going to fall back too crazy, but he might fall back a couple spots. We'll see. I think it's also going to be interesting because I don't think CD Lamb's going to move back in ADP. Like, I mean, he goes at the 1-2 tonight. Sometimes we see that, right?
Yeah.
But I still think he's going top 3 easy. And I don't think Cooks, Ferguson, or I think maybe Cooks and Ferguson could drop an ADP a little bit, but I don't know. I'm not going to freak out about it just yet. But it is interesting, right, with the contract year and all the contract crap going on that now this pops up, right?
Oh, yeah. I got a foot sprain. Oh, here's an excuse. Just another excuse for Cowboys and Cowboy fans.
Gosh, and I don't know about this Cowboys team right now. I mean, if they re-sign Dak, it's going to be like I feel like they want to sign Micah Parsons more, though.
As they should. You should want to sign Micah Parsons more. Micah Parsons is better.
And
and they got to sign CD too.
Right. But it's like I just wonder what this team's going to look like in like 2 years. Are they going to go like full rebuild and have like CD and Parsons as like the cornerstones on offense and defense? I guess, right? Because it's not like the offensive line's very good. The running backs are pretty disposable. They always seem to have a tight end.
They have no wide receivers behind CD either.
Sure. Like Cooks is like just a boomer bust veteran. Like he's not even going to be there.
Yeah.
And they have done a very poor job of drafting wide receivers too. I mean, I like CeeDee Lamb, I get, but even with CeeDee Lamb, it's like CeeDee Lamb kind of fell to them.
He fell in their lap. Like CeeDee Lamb should have been long drafted before. That was a weird draft.
Yeah. And like they got pretty lucky with Dak Prescott too. It's not like they drafted Dak Prescott like thinking he was going to replace an injured Tony Romo that season. Like Romo, before he got hurt, was still playing good enough to be a starter. I guess I'm going to go Nico Collins here.
Some say they should have let Romo play in the playoffs. Maybe they would have actually made an NFC Championship game.
Yeah, some will say. But yeah, I mean, it's like I don't know. The Cowboys are just so dysfunctional. It's not like I feel bad or anything.
This is true.
I am a Homer Washington fan, so. But it's just like you feel like every year, like man, this team could do something, but you just know they're not going to.
You got
But
no idea, man. Living in Texas, it's just every day. It's every day from every person.
that's fair. I do not know that pain. In terms of fantasy, though, I mean these guys are all
They
great.
produce. They're good. They're good on offense, and they're good in the regular season.
Yeah, I mean last year they're ridiculous times. Chase, what's good, bro? Albert, Andrea, good to see everybody. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. How are you guys doing out there? And what topics do you guys want to hear about as we are on the 5th of July, leading up to 2024 fantasy football season? All right, Team 10 just exiled themselves. So I'll make sure that team doesn't get crazy. Dang, why'd you have to take Derrick Henry from me, man?
Look, this is an insanely running back heavy draft so far.
Yeah. That tends to happen with this community as we get closer to August.
Yeah.
I'm probably just going Rashad White here.
No, you're not.
Oh, whoa. Whoa. I mean, I like James Cook, so I'll take Cook here.
Oh my God, look at this.
Yeah, I'll follow the trend.
This is
Mike Evans. If I was going to go triple receiver, it'd be Mike Evans or DJ Moore there for me. Chase, I'm doing fantastic. I'm going to speak for Pete and say he's doing fantastic too.
I don't know. I'm a little confused picking at the back end of the draft. I don't know what to do.
I know. Of course, we randomize the teams and Pete gets the 1.1. At least it didn't give you the 1.2 this time. Or
They thought about it. It was thinking about it.
It's like 8 to 10 streams in a row. You've been in the top 3 picks.
Yeah, maybe 4. Maybe I had a 4 in there.
I think maybe next mock we'll do like a no random teams. I just always do it because most leagues, when you draft for your home league, it's going to put you in a random order. But some leagues you have something in place where that doesn't happen, right? So it just helps most people be prepared, just drafting from random spots. But especially as we get into August, we'll do like no random teams because sometimes people find out their draft position early and people want to practice from particular spots. So we'll get plenty of that going too. But
you also usually get like an hour heads up for your random spot. So it kind of gives you
true,
time to like plot and plan. Like,
and
I always run multiple mocks before like my real draft from that spot.
Yeah. I actually haven't really drafted a lot this offseason from like the 1-8 to the 112 and Underdog and in our PPR mocks. So I feel like I need to get more experience on the back end as well. Most of my Underdog drafts have been from the 1.1. All right, so Team 10 is 0 running back. I'll keep an eye on that. It's kind of an interesting build, though. Sometimes I like to get an experiment team in there. I feel your team's nice and balanced right now.
Yeah, it's tough. Another wide receiver tier that I'm not thrilled with. Maybe Tank Dell.
I'm okay with Zay Flowers.
I'm worried about Zay Flowers. I've gotten to the point where I'm worried.
Really?
I think something. I don't know. He's gonna mentally. I don't know. I don't think he's all there.
I like him in this range just because the volume should be there. I'm gonna ignore everything else and say that I like the volume
until we give Derrick Henry 15,000 touches. When the Ravens just say we're screwed, we're running straight read option with Henry and Lamar. No more passing.
They do look like a Madden team on paper, so this could be fair. Tommy, what's up, my dude? Listening in from work, we appreciate that. It's like 85 degrees out, man.
That's
Uh,
cold.
I was about to say, I wish it was 85 degrees. It was 97
Mhm.
yesterday for me.
That's what I think we were about that 98, 97, 98 yesterday.
It's supposed to be 94 tomorrow, 92 Sunday. And it's supposed to rain all week, which isn't even supposed to bring it down that much.
We got the hurricane rolling in over here, so we're gonna
Oh,
get a
do
little
you?
cold. Well, yeah, it's like hitting Mexico, so we're gonna get some rain and cold weather. It's supposed to be 81 on Monday, which is it might as well be snowing at that point.
Right. And thoughts to everyone who really got hit by that hurricane because that thing looks like a monster. I do not like natural disasters. They are scary. Man, I feel like I need to reach for a running back again here at 5.4.
Yeah, probably. I'm okay
And
with I'm okay with those top two guys.
there are like 3 wide receivers that I really like right here that won't come back. But
Yeah, we know.
yeah, I know. That's one of them. But yeah, I'm just gonna go running back and give me Swift. Give me Swift.
Yeah.
I'll take my guy. You guys can have. I do really like Monty still right there though. And light quarterback draft again. We got Hurts, Mahomes, Lamar, and Stroud at the top of the board.
It's pretty good value. Maybe I'll go. Nah. There's too much good value at wide receiver still on the board.
There is a lot. Probably because it was
See,
a running back heavy draft to start.
see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys I like.
Here's a question from Andrea. Should I trade Devonta Smith for Mike Evans and Swift in Dynasty Superflex? It depends on your whole team build. Depends on how win now you feel your team is. Because this is a win now move. Like I love Swift, but dynasty wise, like he's very sketchy, right?
And Mike Evans is getting towards the back end.
Sure, like Mike Evans could continue to ball for 5 more years. Who knows? But it's like you at some point you have to look at age as well as a factor. And the age is there from. I mean, like I feel like Mike Evans almost retired like right before this last contract he got, which I don't even know what was that contract through. Was it 2 more years? Because I think he could retire. No, it's just through 2024. Yeah, that's what I thought it might be. Like I feel like the only 2 options are he retires or he like heavy ring chases.
Yeah, I think he'll go heavy ring chase. Yeah, he's got 3 void years. Mm,
So it really depends.
He's signed through 25. He signed through 25.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, it's 25. The
Oh, I
new
didn't read
deal.
the whole thing then.
Yeah,
You're on
he
the
was
clock, by the way. I don't want you to miss your
oh,
pick.
there we go. I'm ready for it.
Overall in Dynasty, I like Devonta Smith the most out of these players easily because most Dynasty leagues are going to be starting 3 wide receivers. Are going to have 2 flexes, so wide receiver just holds so much more merit. I probably wouldn't do it, but it really depends on the team. You'd have to be like you feel like your roster is ready to win this year, I would say. But even then, it's not like on a win now roster having Devonta Smith is a bad thing by any stretch.
Yeah, he's gonna get his.
Yeah, absolutely. In a 12-team Superflex dynasty, which side do you like more, Tua and Pittman or Baker and Olave? I'm going to say Tua and Pittman. Wow, there's some of those wide receivers I liked from last round still here. Listen, Baker, you guys know I love me some Bake. But right now I'm still taking Tua. Younger. There's kind of like risk with Tua and Baker at the same time, right?
Yeah, there's more consistency with Tua, it feels like, just overall.
And he kind of proved last year that the injury stuff, like, not really an issue. And I do like Olave more than Pittman, but I'm still very high on Michael Pittman. And from a dynasty perspective, he's not super old either. I mean,
But it's like, is Anthony Richardson a good quarterback? Maybe. There's no quarterback in New Orleans for Olave.
Sure. And I mean, Pittman's age 26. Olave is 24. I mean, those 2 years are valuable. And
Uh-oh. We lost Sean.
uh-oh,
Uh-oh. There we go.
that was weird.
Oh, yeah. We lost you. Or me. I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody
It
got
was probably just Streamlabs in general. But we're good. Technical error. That scared me. I was like, oh, stream's over.
Yeah, it just went real quiet all of a sudden.
I'll say 2 on Pittman. Chase, what do you think? Chase, let us know. J-Dubs, good to see you. Hit the like button. I'll go Mostert here. I need RB help, but
Everybody needs RB help here.
still wide receivers I like out there. All right, Chase says to keep Devonta Smith. Washington ain't used to that. Should be 90s all week. Yeah, that's what I figured. It's probably very hot for you. Tommy says he'd hold Devonta Smith. Traded Mike Evans for Jacobs in our dynasty last year during the playoffs. Think I won that trade. Long term, maybe. Just because of dynasty. See, I just don't put as much value on running backs in dynasty. But also, it's like we talked about. One player here is still further along in his career for sure.
Damn.
And Jacobs age 26. Dude, I think I'm starting to warm back up to Austin Eckler, who I have drafted throughout the offseason.
No shot. Come on. Such
Still,
a bad taste. Bad taste in my mouth from last year.
Still had 1,000 yards from scrimmage and 6 touchdowns last year, which it feels like his season was way worse than that. Now, he didn't equate to a ton of fantasy points, only 185 fantasy points.
He missed 4 weeks with injury.
Yes. And Brian Robinson Jr. is going to get touches in this. So, like, I don't love him, but I still think at his ADP, he's fine.
Don't love this either. We're going to panic.
Chase, I had Baker and Olave. QBs are love. Excuse me. Baker and Carr. So I want to upgrade my QB too. Wide receivers are Chase, Olave, Pickens, Smith, Godwin. Yeah, I think it's okay to do that trade. I think you tier up at quarterback, you tier down slightly at wide receiver. But having Jamar Chase, Michael Pittman, Pickens, Smith, Godwin is okay. And then I still think you tier up at quarterback. So I'm in support of it, but you also have to understand, like, Chris Olave could have a breakout season. I think he's talented enough for that to happen. So you just have to understand what you're kind of potentially losing there. Give me Cortland Sutton right here. Top 3 teams y'all like so far in this mock. I'm really bad at doing this in the middle of the mock. J-Dubs has been getting some steals throughout this draft. Rashee Rice in the 7th, Watson 8th. Very nice. Andrea's got a pretty solid team over there too. Pete's team's not bad.
Pete's teams would be better if he could have got Rashee Rice.
Penny Feather looks okay. Chase looks okay. Both Chases look okay, actually. Kuda going 0 RB. team not bad. Box on the Jack goes triple running back.
God, that was so crazy. I was like, oh man, that's wild.
And it's actually gotten pretty dang good wide receiver. That
Yeah, I
team
can't.
could actually be pretty nice.
Especially if Deontay Johnson and Lad McConkey do anything. Yeah, that's a really strong team right there.
Yeah, that team's actually pretty gnarly. Oh, Gus. They use Eckler how he wants to be used. I think he could be a sleeper for sure.
I just think he's old, and his size and play style not going to age well at all.
But we like this offense.
We do. I just, I don't know. I'm not ecstatic about, a 29-year-old running back who's 5'5". Excuse me. He's 5'9". He's listed at 5'9". Yeah, some other life. Who weighs like 150 pounds, it feels like.
But I think the value is good, right? Is the main thing. You can draft him as like a RB4. RB3. Underdog definitely can get him as like a RB4. So yeah, I mean that's the main thing, right? Value is good. I feel like Olave is a wide receiver I need to win the deal over. Don't want to give him up, but to add with Baker feels like he is the piece to make it happen. I agree. I think it makes it a fair trade too. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're tearing down too much at wide receiver. So I think it's okay if you can get Pittman. And I would rather have Tua than Baker, for sure. And I like Baker. Chase had a couple panic picks. Happens, though. It certainly happens. And we got 2 lost teams tonight. It's okay. I'll monitor them. I feel like Lamar Jackson, Anthony Richardson
is
on
a
the
decent
same team.
Yeah.
Could happen.
Both guys injury prone potentially.
Yeah. It's either him or Smith for me in that trade. Yeah. I think both are okay. Where they kind of get ranked, I think they're fine. As long as you get Pittman. But I am very high on both Devonta Smith and Chris Olave and Dynasty. Like I don't want to undervalue either of those guys at the same time. But in Superflex, right, the quarterback position always still going to hold the most merit. So, all right, I'm changing this to a running back.
Go ahead. I'm not taking one.
Because I don't think 2 tight ends makes sense there.
No.
And now I gotta watch.
Important.
I gotta watch Team 7 too.
What do they need?
They don't take quarterback or tight end, I think it's
they're fine.
But sometimes it just goes by the top player, which is Brock Bowers. So
and they took a tight end.
Let's change it to AD Mitchell. Made for TV in the house. What's good, my guy? Hello. Almost that time of year, man. How you been? Made for TV or whoa, sorry, I just hit my wall. First ever subscriber to the channel. Haven't forgotten.
Really?
Love you, bro. Yeah. First person to ever, no, actually, second person to ever comment on the first person to ever comment on the channel was not nice. He said I looked like I sounded like a geriatric priest.
That's not good.
But he did say I had good analysis. I just sounded like a geriatric priest.
So. I don't think anybody should go back to their original content and listen to it because it's awful. Everybody is bad. Your biggest superstars out there are bad. Their early videos.
Oh man, you will never forget a comment like that, though.
That's scathing. That's a scathing breakdown.
Oh, Kyler Murray here. Give me some
strong.
Thoughts on Alvin Kamara as a late redraft running back this year? He's fine. Like, I still feel like because he went up to 4-2 tonight. I don't know. I still feel like I'd prefer him just a tad bit later, but he just had those games. I mean, he's still the RB11 last year. You know,
he had a really good stretch and he kind of fell off.
I know he was getting those insane when he first came back. Right, the
21, 8,
insane amount of targets and receptions.
21, 18, 17, 29, 27, 11, 18 and a half before the bye.
14 targets in week 4, 14 targets in week 7. But only 3 in week 5 and 8 in week 6. But I mean, honestly, he was actually quite damn good last year. He just missed 4 games and didn't play in week 18, but he only gave you single digits twice, week 16 and 17, when you needed him the most. But he's fine where
And the
he
Saints
is.
started playing better towards the end too when he
They
wasn't getting
did.
all those touches.
Yeah, when you look at Olave's numbers at the end of the year too, they got better, and they weren't even that bad at the beginning of the year. So Kamara makes sense where he's going, I guess. I don't know why I always feel like a little off about Alvin Kamara. Maybe it's
Because
not
he's kind
Kamara.
of he's a sleazy guy. Feels like it
Yeah,
just feels
that could
dirty
be.
drafting him.
Could be. He did punch that guy.
They beat that guy up pretty bad. He has the video, I'll never forget. So I always make fun of him for the Minneapolis Miracle where he's eating the Skittles and he's going, ha ha, ha ha. And then Stephon Diggs, did his thing.
He hold on, sorry, I'm trying to make this draft pick.
Draft.
Honestly, like I'll just go Dallas Goddard, but I feel like I like Dalton Schultz more than Goddard or Brock Bowers. But I'll go Goddard. I don't really care. I almost went double quarterback. I had a lot of things were crossing my mind. I was just imagining Alvin Kamara eating Skittles. So 4th round is too risky for Kamara for me. Mid to 5th, 6th is better. Yeah, I kind of prefer him in that range. But
he's just not going to be there. It's just that's the problem. He's not going to be there.
Yeah. Last year I was high on drafting Kamara because he fell back a bit due to the suspension. And there's a point in the beginning of the offseason where he was getting drafted like super late because people were like positive he was going to miss like half the year or more.
It looked like he was going to miss like the whole year. Like he was charged with a felony.
Right. And it's kind of like the Rashee Rice situation this year. I'm like telling you guys, like draft, especially an underdog, draft Rashee Rice while you like at this ADP because August could get here and it's like a slap on the wrist. And I'm telling you right now, one of Patrick Mahomes' top playmakers, like that stuff matters. The NFL cares about that type of thing. They don't care about the speeding incident. They care about the views and the money and the ratings. So, anyways, and it's crazy because a lot of people criticize Rashee Rice, and don't get me wrong, this is a really stupid thing to do as a multimillionaire athlete and everything. But it's just ironic because Hollywood Brown did the same thing like 2 years ago. He's now on the Chiefs, and like no one's like talking about that either. But regardless, I am drafting a lot of Hollywood Brown and Rashee Rice in fantasy right now. All right. I'm gonna go double tight end. I'm get my boy Dalton Schultz here. Tommy, I'm with you, John. Feel weird about Kamara. Never owned him. Anti-Kamara gang. Me and Tommy.
I like it. I'm in there. Put me in there too.
Bratster, what's up, man? Had a draft tonight where it seemed 2 teams had last year's rankings still plugged in. Multiple drafts, and they were fighting over Lazard round 13, Mingo around 11. Whoa. I was going to say, like, some of those top tier guys, like, I can get going off of last year. Some people do that, although it's better to anticipate what could be this year as opposed to what happened last year. But if we're talking guys like Alan Lazard and Mingo, no way, man. And I was a fan of Alan Lazard last year. I really thought with a healthy Aaron Rodgers, Lazard, like in PPR, would be like a nice late round value. Mingo, I was not so high on. But this year, no, just no. Geez, where were you drafting at, man? Like on Sleeper, ESPN, Yahoo, Underdog, anything specific? We need to go over there and draft.
For real.
Tommy, me, and John are the Brandon Cooks team. We did get that right quite a few times last year. Shout out Brandon Cooks. When I told Tommy to start him. Oh, Andrea with the hard snipe on my boy. Just give me JD5. That's what we're calling him now. We'll go double QB, double tight end over here.
You can't play both quarterbacks at the same time. This is not
Nope.
real life. This is not Madden.
Nobody's gonna steal Jaden Daniels from me though.
All right, fair.
Drafters, just the $2 fun drafts, but the one guy had over 100 drafts. It was the same targets after round 11. Interesting. Those are best ball drafts, right? Yeah. I've seen that. But we are Underdog loyal over here.
Until somebody else sponsors us. Check us out. You know, DraftKings, Phantom, whoever, somebody else. We're not that loyal.
Never. All right. Team reviews. Had a couple of homies leave at the end here as well. But it's okay. All right, Chase at the 111. Late round quarterback, late round tight end. Cats didn't draft tonight. So Trevor Lawrence is not on Cat's team. He's on Chase's team. Fine with that. Fryermuth, I'm okay with, but I feel like the upside is still a little capped. But he's still good value, nonetheless. Gibbs, Kamara, Stevenson, nice start in terms of value at running back. Warren, Dobbins, fine. Warren's probably good value too. Garrett Wilson, Devonta Smith, Keenan Allen, JSN. I like that start. Curtis Samuel, Romeo Dobbs. Take your shot. You're in the 9th, 10th round. So let's see. You're starting Telon, Fryermuth, Gibbs, and Kamara. Wilson, Smith, Allen, JSN. Good RB depth. Like I said, take your shot at wide receiver there. Curtis Samuel, Romeo Dobbs, probably fine where you got them. Dobbins, whatever. Should be fine. Yeah, good team, man. Upside might be capped at quarterback, tight end, but it's what happens sometimes when you go late round QB, late round tight end. Everything else looks great. Broadster says Ontario's an unlucky place to draft. All you got is drafters. Hey, better than nothing, for sure. Jacob says he'd rather draft Kendre than Kamara. There's a lot of Kendre truthers this year. We'll see. Chase Wellner. We got both Chases in the house tonight at the 1-6. Stroud at QB is good. Ingram at tight end, also good. Mixon, Monty, Ford, Vidal, Chandler. Good enough. Jamar Chase, Chris Olave, Pittman. That's a nice start. Keon Coleman, why not take a shot? Downs, Dotson, good values there. Yeah, this is a nice draft, man. Starting Stroud and Ingram, Mixon, Monty, Chase, Olave, Pittman. Then that last flex, you had to figure it out, but all these guys have a shot at it. Other than, I think, Vidal, Chandler, more handcuff type guys, but I think Ford's going to start the year, and then Coleman's kind of your upside pick right there, right? Yeah, good enough team. Andrew, how are you doing? We got J-Lo and Pittman. Say no more. White, Connor, Brian Robinson, and Kendre. There's your Kendre Miller pick. Hill, Adams, Dell, Reed, Shaheed, Troy Franklin, Demarcus Robinson. Really nice first, 10 picks, honestly. Very solid draft. Starting Love and Pitts, White, Connor, Hill, Adams, flexing Dell, flexing Reed. A lot of upside there, too. This is a team that I don't really mind Devontae Adams because I feel like you get a lot of upside out of your wide receiver 1, 3, 4. Got Rashad White in there. I feel like having Robinson behind Connor solid. Shaheed and Demarcus Robinson, Troy Franklin, all kind of late round upside picks too. So Solid team. I'd be okay with it. Chase says, I think I should have waited on QB. Well, this time of year, you should. Because they're not as aggressively drafted. So it makes your team look better. Basically, usually, generally. But honestly, it's probably better practice to take one a bit earlier because come August, they'll be going a bit later. Or a bit earlier, excuse me. All right, W's at the 1-8. Tua and Kirk. Name a better duo ever.
Literally every duo.
Mark Andrews at tight end. Brees Hall, Aaron Jones, Zeke Jarbs, and your boy, Ray Davis. That is such a manly picture. He does not look like a rookie. Jeez. Maybe I should be drafting more of him. London, Waddle, Metcalf. That's a nice start. Rashee Rice Watson, you really killed it at wide receiver. Great value at wide receiver. So you're starting Tua and Andrews, Hall, Jones, London, Waddle, Metcalf, Watson, and then you got Rashee Rice too. Like, this is a really solid team. Good late round quarterbacks, good tight end value. Andrews in the 6. Jones is my least favorite part, but honestly, on this team, I think it's completely fine. Yeah, this is a good team. Like, you're dealing with a lot of handcuff running backs here, which might come in early with the way Aaron Jones plays as of late, but team looks really solid outside of that, man. Just really good value at wide receiver, all behind Brees Hall, too. It's a nice team. All right, Pete, what'd you do, bro? We got Burrow. That's your boy.
Solid. Can't complain.
Kittle. Good. Kyron, Walker, Javonte, Trey Benson, Chuba Hubbard. Nice running back value tonight, man. Puka, DJ Moore, Kirk, McLaurin. Good start at wide receiver. Judy and Ricky Pearsall. Not bad for the 12th and 13th round. I feel like you drafting at a later spot benefited you.
Yeah, I think so too. There were some guys there that aren't normally there for me.
Starting Burrow. Starting Kittle. Starting Kyron and Walker, Puka, DJ Moore, Kirk, McLaurin. Whew. Got some great running back value on the bench. And they got 2 upside picks at wide receiver at the end. It's a good team, man. Yeah, I can't complain here.
Okay, yeah.
McLaurin feels like a really nice value there in the 6, too.
Yeah, especially as my wide receiver 4.
Yeah. J-Dubs,
I want a Rashee Rice also. J-Dub, I was getting greedy. Instead of Javonte, I want a Rashee Rice.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a nice pick. Because then he could have like maybe waited on.
I would have waited.
And he probably would have gone Brian Robinson Jr., I feel like, in the 9th.
Yeah, I would have went. I would have figured out. I would have figured out the running back situation. Who knows? I mean, Javonte still easily could have been there, depending on what the teams behind me did.
Still a good team, either way.
Yeah.
How we really feeling about Javonte? I mean, as your RB3, 4, I still like Javonte. I'm not coming off that train, but yeah, we do have the rumors that McLaughlin's getting touches, Estemi's getting touches, Pirine might get cut. Michael Burton's on this team. That's so random. I love this point of the offseason when there's like the rosters are really
90 guys on a roster.
True Madden teams. But I think even last year we saw a split with Javonte, Pirine, and McLaughlin. And, you know, at the end of the day, the lead back was still Javonte. Workhorse back was still Javonte. So I think he's the most valuable back in this backfield. I don't want to draft him as like an RB2. I certainly wouldn't want him like on a 0 RB team as my first running back, unless I was completely desperate. But yeah, I'm okay with him. I'm not panicking yet. Chase says he'll be better 2 years removed from ACL. That's the big thing too.
That's the big number.
First year back from ACL, usually not nearly as good as the second year back. All right, let's roast my team. Late round quarterback, late round tight end, double QB, double tight end tonight. A little treat for you guys. We're going for rushing upside. We got Kyler and JD5. Go Commanders. Goddard and Schultz. 4 running backs: Cook, Swift, Mostert, Edwards. And then we've got 5 wide receivers, a little light for me. JJ, Collins, Flowers, Hollywood, Sutton. I mean, I'll be okay with this team. I don't really like typically draft double quarterback and double tight end in a single QB league ever. But I did it tonight. So I'd probably be starting Kyler and Goddard, Kyler and Schultz, however you want to look at it.
Gotcha.
Cook and Swift. Give me that reception upside from those guys. Starting JJ and Collins, flexing Flowers, flexing Hollywood. Leaves Mostert, Sutton, Edwards on the bench with 1 QB and 1 tight end on the bench too. So redraft, I'd be okay with this. Gives you some wiggle room for trading as well as the waiver wire. But I think the core roster looks good is the most important part. So
super high upside weeks. You could have some weeks where you destroy people.
Yeah, like there's kind of risk there at running back, but the upside is nice, especially with the reception upside too. Swift has a bad year, then it's rough here.
Yeah, you're in trouble. But then you have like Hollywood, who could just have a huge game as your 4th wide receiver.
Yeah, for sure.
When you know JJ and Nico are gonna just do whatever, do their thing.
So I'd be okay with this squad. I'm ready to start drafting.
For real.
I mean, I guess I had been on Underdog, but it's a little bit different there, you know.
It's a different strategy.
J-Dub's not bullish on Denver at all.
No, they're going to be bad.
They're going to
be bad. But they're going to get fantasy points. They're going to run the football. They're going to throw it to Cortland Sutton because he can catch anything within a 2-foot radius.
And I kind of like the idea of Troy Franklin, but that's about it. I don't know.
Well, it's like PBR. Like, what if they complete? What if, Bo Nix throws the ball 35 times to everybody and he completes 33 of them for 185 yards? Well, I don't care. I caught all those passes.
And I think Bo Nix is going to be the starter.
He's definitely going to be a starter.
Yeah, I do. And maybe we've been too harsh on Sean Payton. Maybe with the right players, there's still
Sean Payton's the most overrated head coach in the history of the NFL. Yeah. So
I forgot about that. Probably so. All right, draft of the night, even though the autos drafting made it weird. I tried to facilitate a little bit, but towards the end, it's like, okay, they're just going to get a second quarterback tight end. But I changed more picks than you guys may notice. Draft of the night, we didn't look at Box and the Jacks team, but I actually want to look at this team. Herbert and Caleb, Jake Ferguson, C-Mac, A-Shane Jacobs, Jalen Wright, just like a handcuff pick there. Higgins, Cooper, Deontay, Ladd, J-Mo, Myers. I do really like this team.
I think if he takes Purdy instead of Myers, I think this is an awesome team.
I'm okay with that too. Because then over Herbert, you can go Douglas, Robinson, Pearsall. Like, there's still names, right? Just don't really need Myers on this team, but I understand it. And like, yeah, so you're starting Herbert, C-Mac, A-Chain, Higgins, Cooper, Deontay. Then you can flex Jacobs, flex Ladd, flex J-Mo. I think that's a good team.
I like this team a lot.
Yeah, once again, there's just a lot of upside on this team too.
Or it could be terrible. Like, if Deontay's bad, Ladd's bad, J-Mo does J-Mo things, this team is horrible. Yeah. A-Chain gets hurt.
Right. Sometimes upside is what ends up winning championships. A lot of upside there. I actually think Pete had a really good squad tonight.
Thank you.
Truthfully.
It's only because I drafted Christian Kirk. It's the only reason.
That's true too. And I really did. I like Andrea's team a lot tonight too. Andrea, very solid team. But honestly, good drafting all around. It's that time of year, man. Maybe Dulcich is the real winner. I do not trust Greg Dulcich.
Yes.
I just can't. I can't. I mean, he was like so hyped up. and then just nothing. Just nothing from this.
It
I
was
mean,
like Isaiah Likely was like that 2 years ago,
yeah.
and then everyone was hesitant last year, and then he was kinda awesome for a few games last year. So maybe it is Dolce time.
I mean, he had those like 2 touchdowns as a rookie and a couple solid games. Like we'll hand it to him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solid games, including the 2 touchdown games. But like I swear he saw those 2 touchdown highlights like on repeat, ridiculous amount. And then last year, Greg Dulcich literally had 4 targets and 3 catches and did not have a higher snap percentage than 33% through 2 games. 2 games. He had 5.5 PPR points. And Chase says it here. Greg hasn't been able to hit the practice field this offseason. He has a hamstring injury still. The talent's probably there, but I don't think there's a true tight end on this team. I mean, Adam Trotman's also hurt, who Sean Payton brought in last year. I don't know who Lucas Krull is. Or you got rookie Thomas Yasmin
Yes.
and then Nate Adkins in his second season. I would assume most of these guys are blocking tight ends. So, I mean, Greg Dulcich right now on paper gets the opportunity if he can play. Oh, J-Dub says it was a joke. Okay. Like over here, like
We're analyzing hard over here.
we're like, dude, don't draft Greg Dulcich. But no, there are people out there who are still Greg Dulcich believers. So, all right, Aiden O'Connor or Minshew. I go back and forth on this one because the other week it sounded like Aiden O'Connell was going to be the starter, and now I'm reading like Minshew might be the guy. So, I think honestly, I said this the other week. I think we're going to see both play. Like I think both these guys are going to end up out there at some point.
If they were smart, they would start Aiden O'Connell for the first 3 to 4 weeks, and then Minshew comes in off the bench as the backup, and then he wins. He wins a lot of games because that's all Minshew can do. He's the new Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That's true. That is true. But yeah, it's going to be hard to say. I think O'Connell will start the season because he has more experience in the offense. And then I think there might be some truth to what Pete's saying where Minshew, once I mean, I don't know, maybe O'Connell's good. I don't know. He was okay at times. Let's see. He played the Chargers, was good against them, but that team sucked in week 15 that was the game where they were trying to get their head coach fired, essentially. Then he was not good against the Chiefs. Pretty good against the Colts. We'll give him that. And then pretty good against Denver. But once again, not the stoutest defenses. And you're playing at the end of the season against, like, the Colts were fighting for the playoffs. And Denver was not. So I would say Aiden starts, and then maybe we get Minshew, the GOAT, come in. I know RB starts are not favorable right now, but what situation would you consider it? I got CMC pick 4. Where are you?
Wait, what?
We got to hop in some drafts with
Yeah.
Roster. Taylor picked 21, but I really hate RB starts. Makes it so hard to catch up.
That's an unbelievable RB start. Like, yeah, yes.
Because that means awesome. You're getting JT pretty late in the second. So it's probably people are favoring wide receivers in best ball drafts. You still don't see it as much on Underdog for sure. Like you don't see CMC really go past the 1.2 every now and then the 1.3. But yeah, you can't really like this is a situation where you're going best player available. You throw everything else out. But there are other spots I'm seeing this year, and we've talked about this. Like if you can get Hall and then Barkley, Hall, and then JT, Gibbs, and then Barkley, Taylor and Barkley. Tonight we see, even at the 1-7, Robinson and Pacheco. I'm not completely against that. at the 1.1, C-Mac and A-Chain, there's an incredible ceiling with those two players as your RB1, RB2. So it just depends. But for the most part, I'll put it this way. If you get a running back in the first round, that's really the only spot where I'm considering it. And that would be a true RB start, right? Double hero running back strat. And it does make it hard to catch up, but you win because that top value of RB1, RB2 is so high. But then you're catching up, right? And you're drafting like 2 late round guys. Like you're drafting Raheem Mostert, Javonte Williams, Austin Eckler, Jalen Warren, and Gus Edwards and Jerome Ford. You know what I mean? Trey Benson, like your RB3, RB4.
There's so many more good top end wide receivers than there are good top end running backs.
Yeah.
So you're also hampering somebody else when you take running back.
Sure.
Like I very much considered going Gibbs at the 1-9 tonight, and then I would have easily went Kyron if he was there again. Got Gibbs Kyron there just because I can work with these receivers. Now, on the counter to that, there's always a running back or two that pop up out of nowhere on the waivers, and that can just kind of adjust for that. But yeah, go with the best available. If it's RB, it's okay.
And the other thing is, like, especially if you're drafting multiple best ball drafts, right? Just switch up these strategies, get different exposure, build different teams. So if you have a couple teams where you go RB, that's okay because you want different exposure. You go back and look at my best ball drafts, my underdog drafts. I do all kinds of strategies. Like I do everything from 0 running back to hero running back to heavy running back. Last night I drafted a team of players only in red, white, and blue jerseys. Like it's you just want to switch up your exposure. Yeah, I agree, Dados. Can't complain about CMC at 4, JT at 21. Only ever got CMC at 4 once. Okay, that makes more sense. Drafters is PPR. Yeah, I guess that does change. Underdogs have PPR. Play 3 wide receivers to kind of balance it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think like C-Mac at 4. I mean, if it's Hill, Lamb, JJ, Hill, Lamb, St. Brown, Hill, Lamb, Chase, I mean, there's an argument there. Deontay Johnson, late round guy that could destroy in full PPR. Agree. I mean, really, look at the 6th round tonight. McLaurin, Godwin, Hollywood, Jaden Reed, Ridley, Deontay. I love all those guys in the 6th round. Go balance. As long as I continue to play fantasy football, I will never play another league without a super flex. Fair, if you prefer that style. I do really like super flex leagues. I do one every year. So, and 2 dynasty super flex leagues. Super flex is great, but for the most part, there's a place for just about every style of league within reason. I do want to do a double quarterback league this year too. Hero wide receiver is gross. Yeah, I even did a hero wide receiver build the other night. Just want to switch it up. That team was gross. Actually, that team was kind of fun because running back was stacked. Yes, Jada, the auction league will renew this year too. Got to have an auction league too. All right. I guess that does it for the night. Nice little convo here at the end. Thank you guys for the questions, the topics. But there's your mock draft for the night. We'll be back on throughout the weekend. If we're not on together tomorrow, I'll be on for a late night underdog draft. And then we'll be back Sunday. So just stay posted. Discord links down below, free to join. I'll let you guys know when we are going live, when we're doing underdog drafts, when we're doing PPR mock drafts, get you guys our mock draft invites, all that good stuff. Hit the like on the way out. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. We love you guys. Pete, I'll let you say bye and we'll get out of here.
All right. Appreciate everybody stopping by. Hope everyone had a fun day yesterday. If you're still partying into the weekend, have fun, be safe, enjoy yourselves. Check out the shorts we're dropping every day. People seem to like them, and I have a million more to edit for us, so don't worry, guys. They're not going anywhere. John will continue to embarrass and impress everybody out there with his blind ranking skills. So, yep, appreciate it as always.
I forgot to turn on subscribers only mode for the night. So if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe so we can move out of our parents' basements.
Fair.
Appreciate you guys. And we'll talk to you guys soon. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the catch. And